So the most improved player award, in my opinion, is always a little tricky because you can choose to go in a couple different directions. You can choose to go by just who made the biggest jump in your brain and that's it. You can choose to go with a guy who was an unknown and then burst onto the scene, kind of like a Devonte Graham. You could go with someone who was a star and is becoming more of a star with Siakam or Lucca. You could take someone like Brandon Ingram, who you always saw the potential with and he was solid, but it never really all came together, and then now it finally is. I think Jaylen Brown could be in that similar thing. There's a whole bunch of that, and I feel like depending on your criteria for most improved, if you have one or if it's just a gut feeling about those particular candidates, then I feel like it's going to sway you into whatever direction. But there's a whole bunch of names. I think Brandon Ingram has been the popular choice, and he could also be the right choice. I mean, I don't want that to sound condescending or anything. There's definitely a strong case to make for Ingram. I mean, from where he was, in terms of just sheer numbers, like 18 to 24 points, the rebounds and assists didn't take huge jumps, but it's like the efficiency is so much better, and just how much more comfortable he is on offense. I mean, even for someone like myself who was on the Ingram train, you'd admit that there would be times where he would just look kind of awkward on offense, trying to score in ISOs, and he had a stretch for the Lakers last season, and it seems like that guy is here with the Pelicans now, and it's just been legit. I mean, now you go from a guy who was like, can this dude be a number 2 player? And I think he can definitely be like the second option on a great team now. I think that's a fair expectation when you're talking about 41% on 5 threes a game and 83% on 5.5 free throws a game, and his playmaking is a little better now. I mean, what more would you need out of a number 2 option? Now, of course, Pelicans are not good because of various things, but should that count? Should we really include record when it comes to most improved player? Maybe we should. I don't know. I think it's a very weird award, but Ingram has been great. I do want to talk about Devonte Graham. If we're talking about guys who came from nowhere and are really good now, I think Devonte would be the candidate there. I mean, the dude went from 5 points a game to 19, and he has now become, to me, the prime prospect. Not even a prospect, he's doing it right now. He's the main centerpiece of the Hornets for the next whatever. I mean, to me, this is a guy who, like I'm pretty sure I said in the video when I called him the next great NBA scorer, I think he can average 25 a game. I mean, look, if he's going to shoot over 40% on 8.5 threes a game, then there you go. Like, that dude's going to score a crap ton of points in the NBA, and he has the potential to confuse the hell out of defenses if he's moving off the ball, and I don't really know if he's done that much. I'm not going to act like I've watched a bunch of Hornets games this season, so Hornets fans could probably speak on that one better than I can. But the potential is certainly there for this guy. I mean, he's taken threes contested, he's taken pull-ups, and if you dare him to take one off of a screen, he'll definitely do it, and it is all going in. So if he can just creep those free throws up a little bit, then yeah, I think he can definitely hit 20 points a game. But even so, this is his second season. It's not arguably, it's like, in a way, it's effectively his first real season, because I don't think defenses were really taking him into account at all in his rookie year. So he's got time. I mean, for where he is right now, that's pretty nuts. That's the thing. It's like, if you just want to look at it based on just purely who you think took the biggest jump, then I feel like Devonte Graham is kind of my pick. He really has been that nuts. But there are other options. Fred VanVleet has had more of an opportunity for the Raptors, and he's been very good. Lucca and Siakam would be the stars who became bigger stars. That's a tricky slope. I mean, I don't know. Siakam went from I have no idea, maybe the 25th best player in the league to the 15th, give or take. Lucca went from being we'll say 19th to being the 7th. So I don't know. I don't know. Is that a bigger jump than what Devonte Graham has done, going from a guy who looked like he may not be in the NBA at all to oh, this guy is now actually the best player on the Charlotte Hornets. That's an idea. It's, I guess it just depends on who you are. Malcolm Brogdon has certainly made a jump. I think he's tapered it down a little teeny bit. I mean, he went from a pretty good player to could be an all-star. That's definitely a jump, no doubt about it. Jaylen Brown, for as much as I am loving everything Jaylen is doing this season, improving as a ball handler, his shooting has been legit. I don't think he's taken a huge jump defensively. I think he's still been... Is he like a very good defender? I guess... I feel like Jaylen is about as good of a defender as you possibly can be without being a real candidate for first or second team all defense. So whatever that means, I guess. Wiggins has been legit. Similar to other dudes, like the numbers may not be drastically different. I mean, they're definitely an improvement, but it's more of just when you actually watch him and the efficiency and just his effect on the team now. I mean, Andrew Wiggins is no longer mathematically one of the worst players in the league, even if his talent was certainly not that. Now he's legit like an above average player helping his team win basketball games. It's crazy. Just mainly from him having the ball more and just attacking the basket like crazy with more spacing, and also a little better of a playmaker, making some interesting passes and, split-second situations. He's not doing it all the time. He's no natural point guard out there, but he's definitely improved. Bam Adebayo. I want to give myself a little pat on the back. Not a huge one, because I was not the only one seeing it with Bam, but I remember before the season, I specifically said, hey, Bam can be this awesome defensive, playmaking, shooting big. Now, the shooting hasn't really happened. And again, I was not the only one saying this, but even so, it just feels good to be right on a player, Bam has been excellent for Miami. I think if the all-defense thing wasn't stupid and only allowed 2 centers, then I think Bam would definitely make it. Then again, to be fair, maybe he would still make it. I mean, you could argue he's been a better defensive center than everybody except Gobert, unless I'm missing a super obvious one. Like, I know Embiid is right there, but I don't know. Bam has been he's been really good for Miami. Does Trae Young deserve to have a spot in this thing? I would think so. It's similar to like Lucca and Siakam on a slightly smaller scale, but still, I mean, about 9 points a game, and I mean, he went from a guy where it was like, okay, we get what you can do, but your shot selection is maybe not good enough for it right now, to, yeah, feel free to attempt a 30-footer, Trae. It's totally cool. 39% on 9 threes a game. That's the heart of it right there, man. I've been considering doing another video on Trae Young, just talking about like if the Hawks should get aggressive with a move for him, because they've got the ammo for it, which I just tweeted like 15 minutes ago. And Trae Young just recently had a thing where he's like, yo, get me some teammates. But I don't know. Maybe I won't. Yeah, are those all the candidates? Is there an obvious candidate that I wasn't thinking about? I hope not. Anyway, my gut is kind of between Devonte Graham and Brandon Ingram. I think I'm going to go Devonte. I mean, Ingram, like, I'm not shocked that this is happening for Ingram this season. You know what I mean? I didn't think he would be averaging 25 a game, but now that it's happening, I'm like, okay. Like, I'm maybe like 15% surprised that it's happening this quickly. Devonte Graham did not look like an NBA player last season, okay? Not that I watched a single minute. I didn't know the dude existed last year, okay? So to go from that to, hey, this is the best player on the Hornets for the next like 10 years, I think that gets you the award. So Devonte Graham would be my pick.